Greetings and welcome to the Fan Perspective. I'm your host Nathan Lyle, and this is my continuing coverage of the 2015 NBA playoffs, recapping the Eastern Conference Finals between the number 1 seed Atlanta Hawks and the number 2 seed Cleveland Cavaliers. Game 1, the Cavs came in looking to take advantage of their size. They were scoring in the paint, had twice as many rebounds, but the Hawks still had a 6-point lead at the end of the first quarter. Neither team was able to take control in the second, and they go into the halftime tied at 51. But the Cavs took control in the second half, ending the third quarter with a 7-point lead. And with LeBron sitting on the bench at the start of the fourth quarter, J.R. Smith takes over the game. He's hitting every single shot, and they expand that lead to 18 points. And the Cavs, they had 5 players in double figures, led by LeBron James and J.R. Smith, who combined for 59 points on the game, as the Cavs steal Game 1 on the road, 97-89. Then in Game 2, Kyrie Irving sits out the game, and LeBron was more than willing to shoulder the load. He scored 13 of the team's 26 points as they end the first quarter with a 5-point lead. And then the Cavs, they start making threes, and they looked like they were in control. But the Hawks played well enough to keep them from breaking away, so the Cavs go into halftime still up by 5. But then they come out in the third quarter and just dominated, leading by as many as 20, going into the fourth quarter with an 18-point lead. And the injuries started piling up. Korver and Horford both go down, and the Cavs just continue their dominance. And late in the game, both teams start pulling their starters. Cavs had 4 players in double figures. LeBron 1 rebound short of a triple-double as the Cavs win Game 2, 94-82. And now they're going back home, already up 2-0. So Game 3, the series goes back to Cleveland. The Hawks learn that Kyle Korver is going to miss the rest of the season with a high ankle sprain. But hopefully they're hoping that there's more of a season for him to miss. And they come out fighting. They're in front the entire first quarter, leading by 3 at the end of 1. The second quarter was a back-and-forth battle with no one truly taking the lead. But with 34 seconds left in the first half, Al Horford hits Dellavedova with an elbow, gets ejected on a flagrant 2 call, so he's done for the game. Atlanta goes into halftime with a 1-point lead. Both teams played well at times in the third quarter, but the story of the game was LeBron. He had a triple-double in the third quarter alone, and the Cavs end the third quarter with a 5-point lead. Late in the fourth, the Hawks started making a run, and the game was very competitive for like the last few minutes. And with 17 seconds left to go, Atlanta got the ball back with the score tied. Teague takes a shot at the buzzer. It bounces off the rim. The game goes into overtime, and the lead was back and forth. The teams just kept exchanging clutch shots. But LeBron James, he was LeBron James today. He led his team in every category: 37 points, 18 rebounds, 13 assists, 3 steals, as the Cavs hang on to win Game 3, 114-111. Now, Game 4, with the Hawks facing elimination, Kyrie Irving returns to the starting lineup for the Cavs, and he leads them with 9 points as the Cavs in the first quarter with a 12-point lead. And then they continue their dominance throughout the second quarter, leading by double digits the entire way, going into halftime with a 17-point lead. And then at the start of the third quarter, for a moment there, it looked like the Hawks might actually try to start competing. But at the end of the third quarter, the Cavs are holding on to a 25-point lead. And in the fourth quarter, they never led by less than 20. The Cavs had 6 players in double figures, including double-doubles from Smith and Thompson. LeBron James was flirting with a triple-double as the Cavs win Game 4, 118-88, completing a sweep of the Atlanta Hawks, moving on to the Eastern Conference Finals, where they await the winner of the Western Conference Finals between the Golden State Warriors and the Houston Rockets. And wow, LeBron James, he's in the NBA Finals for the 5th consecutive year. And so, can we not call it the Eastern Conference anymore? Can we just call it the LeBron James Conference? Because it seems like every team he's on is just automatically the favorite right now. It's just a very dominating presence, and especially when you actually put good guys around him. That's the only thing that he was missing as a kid. Because, even his first couple years in the league, he was good, and he was this good. He just didn't have anyone around him. The biggest difference is his points are actually going down. His assist total is going up. Do you remember when he was having to play against guys like Boston and Detroit? He had to score 60 for them to have any chance of winning. Now he can score 30 and still win because he can get other people involved and stuff. Because he's got guys around him who can actually make shots. I mean, who did he have way back in the day when they made the finals, when they got swept? What was it? Booby? They had Booby Gibson. That was their second best player. Booby and Vrajal. I mean, So yeah, I mean, I've said this for so long. LeBron, one of the best players in the game, but nobody does it alone. It takes a team to win. And so now we see LeBron and his team in the finals once again. Different team than the last 4 years, but still, LeBron, that's the key.